The final
But
word.
anyway,
The final word. Hey,
sir. Right.
We
All right.
Ooh, how
Cowboy
y'all feeling,
Nation.
man? Cowboy Nation.
Man.
We got a special guest in the building, man.
The final word.
Now the next time he come, he ain't no guest now.
I know. He really
He
ain't,
ain't
no
gonna be
guest
no
right
guest.
now.
Once you been over the house one time, it's yours.
I know, right? You know, because guess ain't the right word, huh? You right.
Let me find out. I gotta go get my own plate.
Yeah, man. Nah, bro. Come open up the refrigerator, big dog.
I got it. It's all good. I'm the type of guest that's gonna write his name on the orange juice.
The
Don't touch
final
my
word.
orange juice.
Right on, big dog. Right on, right on. Yeah, man. So we obviously kicking off free agency. Let's start the show. Oh, see, how you feeling so far
The
about free
final
agency,
word.
big dog?
Oh man, it is what it is,
The
and it's a
final
pattern
word.
of how we need to try to operate. And I'll talk about that when we get started. It's a
Okay.
pattern of how you need to try to operate.
Right on, right on. You got me curious now, kicking it off like that. So, obviously, Wes, how you feeling so far, man? At the start of this free agency, which really
The
kicks off
final
tomorrow.
word.
The final word.
Man, I feel like listen, man, I was
The
raised.
final
I was
word.
listen, man. Christmas wasn't the best
The
for me because
final
I was from the
word.
hood. But all them rich kids on Christmas, when they get to open up their gifts and they feel all giddy, that's how I feel right now. Because I got to get some on franchise day. But man, unless we just gonna find some on purpose to be negative about, oh yeah, baby, it's positive.
Right, man. Say, come on, bro. Exactly. And then obviously, man, nothing but the best, Mr. Law himself, bro. What's your thoughts, real quick, man, before we really kick off the show?
They are doing exactly what need to be done. The Cowboys willing and dealing a little bit. All we said, we want one or two moves
Yeah,
before the draft, and they doing just that.
yeah. Hey, you.
The final
Yeah, so I
word.
can't wait to kick this off, man. So y'all sit back, hang back. We gonna be right back. Come on, let's go.
The final word.
With Wes, with the OC,
The final word.
with BGJ. Come on, let's go. Hey.
Let's go.
The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
The final word. The final word.
The final word.
The final word.
The final word. Let's go. All right, let's kick it
The
off.
final word.
Kick off time like a game. Kick off time. Hey, let's go.
Lately I just wanna run it up. Kinda check or something. I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Half a ticket to a meal. Lately I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check or something. Lately I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up, count it up. Lately I just wanna run it up. Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change. To the safe, got blues inside. Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses when I play, charge it to the game. I'm with L, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now. I'm with Bay, yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, now switching sides, now it's about loyalty. switch sides off for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it too legit.
Too legit.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Let's go, man. Run it up, man. Run it up. All right, man. So let's go ahead and start it off. I'm pretty sure you and Law, you and West Coast already talk about this, but obviously this is the big thing that's going on right now. We got Stephon Gilmore. So we go kick it off with you, OC. Because I know they already talked about it. We want to hear from you on this, and then we gonna go around the circle on Gilmore. We gonna look at this at a lot of different angles, though, because I think it's some angles on this. So what's your thoughts on that Gilmore?
Yeah, I think that Gilmore is a really good addition to this team. I think that we're getting into the area where the Cowboys are becoming Alabama-ish in terms of how they dealing with draft picks and dealing with free agency. And what I mean by that is that, baby, they don't rebuild, baby. They reload, baby. They reload. And so they're reloading by adding this important depth to the defensive backfield. And what I was saying backstage is this: there's a model of what you see with certain free agents on money with short-term deals, okay? Shorter-term deals, 3-year deals, right? We saw my guy from Washington sign a 4-year deal. It's really a 3-year, $60 million deal, right? And so when you use a mid to late round draft pick to get somebody that can come in and help you immediately, you're shoring up that defensive backfield. You're also being very responsible about how you restructure some of these contracts, and you putting yourself in position to always be able to strike. So I like what the Cowboys are doing with this move in particular, and from what I'm seeing so far.
Yeah, man. So let's go around the circle on that, man, because obviously we want to hear from everybody. Let's then also go to West, and then we go finish off with the OG Law. What's your thoughts on that? This Gilmore thing, big dog.
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay. Man, listen to me, man. My initial thoughts is I'm 100% in agreement with the OC. Like, this is a Cowboys identified a problem and they fixed the problem. I like the fact that, like, also, this is, the second corner was a problem that we tried to fix all season. We threw 7 different human beings at one position, and neither one of those guys could stick. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that the Dallas Cowboys didn't, try to, sweep that under the rug. They went after it. Like, the Cowboys are not trying to, they're not trying to, like I said, they're not trying to sweep it up. Like, they're purposely trying to throw something at it. And I like this because I'm tired of if he comes to Dallas, he'll play a little bit better. No, man, go throw some production at it. It's my boy Gilmore. He has production, and it's like, as long as he don't listen to me, as long as Gilmore plays as good as he played last year, we are majorly upgrading from what we're coming through. And the Cowboys will probably still sign another corner. So, I say it like this: you got to start judging this team I said this on our show with Law. It's not about the individual player. It's about the room. And did your cornerback room get better? Heck yeah, they got better, bruh.
No doubt. No doubt. So just to echo about what he's saying is that never look at this as an isolated situation, but look at it as a complete unit. Now you got a defensive back. They got understanding and wisdom of the game. Remember, a new broom can sweep the floor good, but that old broom can get those corners. And that is what Gilmore is here for, to help Dayron Bland out, to help Izzy out, to help even Trayvon Diggs out. So now we're looking at all of these things. Instead of putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound, what we're going to do now is getting this man early. We can extract the bullet, sew it up good, put stitches in it, and then put the Band-Aid over it. And that will help this team out faster than what we did last season with what West Coast said, by 6 to 7 guys that try to fill in that voided area. Now we got someone now versus later.
And so this is the thing. You hear a lot of people already, because now he's a Cowboy, he getting that Dallas Cowboy treatment. Y'all know what that is. It's people out there saying he washed. Right? So we already got what it takes to break that down.
Uh-oh.
The OC.
We got that film.
The film breakdown.
That boy's swagging. I heard that. Let's go.
All day. Swagging all day. So this is obviously Gilmore versus Minnesota. So when you get a chance to look at him versus the very best, that tells you if he has it or not. And we can all share in what we see too. This ain't no one-man show. If y'all seeing something, just add to it. But when I look at him, this is him from last year. I don't see no drop off, especially from this game. Now, I've already looked at 3 of his games. Like, this is a great open field tackle right here where he slams Jefferson. Look at Jefferson hold his head. Yeah, he felt that. See, hold on, no, wait. He felt that. Yeah, he felt that. Yeah. So yeah. See, this is what they. Yeah, straight fatality. So that's him at the bottom right corner. Just watching him go against the best. This is he stopped like the receiver and almost picked that off. Boy, if you don't get out of here,
You got fire.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you something too, boss. You know what? This film right here, he's going up against the Jeffersons and the number ones, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna tell you, the cool thing about it is, and no disrespect to your film, but this film is not even really usable. You wanna know why, boss?
Why?
You know why?
Why?
I love how you say why.
Yeah, I want to know.
Because he ain't gonna be on number 1 receivers in Dallas, bro. What about this? Listen
That's
to
a
me.
good observation.
Wait. Before you go into that point, let's finish the film. I'm gonna go right to you, bro, because that's a damn good point. See, West Coast trying to get us off the field. We trying to go to the field, big dog. You're already making them on West Coast-ish.
Like, listen to me. The
West
only
Coast-ish type points.
Think about this. Think about this. If we're ever playing Minnesota and he's on Jefferson, Stephon Diggs either held out or he's not at the game, because we have our, listen to me, the guy that y'all say that Gilmore isn't anymore, don't trip, because Stephon Diggs is. Like, Gilmore don't have to be his old self because Diggs is. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. Good point. And see, this is, let me say it a different way for people that's slow in the back, or if you're a Philly hater or a team that's just hating. This is what Wes say, because Wes will say deep stuff, it'll go over your head. The person that's going to take the number 1 receiver is Diggs. So the film that we watching is Gilmore going against the best, but Gilmore is not even going to be going against the best. So that's even better is what Wes is saying.
Even better.
Yeah.
That's even better. Yeah. Great point, bro. Fantastic. All right, let's go back.
And I'm gonna piggyback on that too, just real quick.
Let's go.
He may not even be facing the number 2 receiver.
Ooh.
He may be on your number 3 because you got Bland. You got Bland.
Yeah.
He might be on your number 3 receiver. So this is a great pickup. Go ahead, boss.
Go ahead. I love this. Hey, boss.
This killing. The whole panel is killing. We ain't even got started.
Hey, fellas.
Hey, before you give your final analysis on that, was that the game that the Vikes came all the way back, though? It was up at like 30 points, and then the Vikings came all the way back. Was that game?
I'm not sure. I just was looking at him. I didn't look at the outcome.
Oh, you just paid attention to him, not the overall outcome.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah.
Let's dive into that film.
All right,
man.
let's get back into this film, though. But see, y'all already start going too deep, so that was dope. Good points by everybody. Back to the film.
Yeah.
All right, so when we break it down, Gilmore, and answer the question, because the one thing that I saw is he was giving up stuff underneath, but I think it was a reason for that, because he was keeping everything under the chains, going up, making a tag, and keeping them at a puntable position. But anywhere else that he was challenged, he was killing. And I'm talking about the best receiver in the game, right? So this is another one where you go see the power of him and his strength, because his strength is actually, in my opinion, underrated. Watch him break on this and dislodge this ball. Bow! Ball gone. Yeah. And stand over him. Man, y'all got.
And he hurt. And it hurt him. He hurt him too. Yeah. You notice that lick. He hurt him too. Every time he hit him, he hurt. He's slow getting up. Look at him. Wait, look at him. Look at him. He's like, oh man, look at you hurt, bro. That means you hurt, bro. That means you about to get up, but you hurt, bro. He hurt you.
Ooh, so it's, this is just keep watching though, because see, he should have made that tackle. That's the only thing that I'm gonna knock him on is that one little tackle. But other than that, anybody that's out there saying that he's washed, man, you just talking, bro. You just talking, bro. And only people that saying that right here, he had bad eyes. That was honest. He gave that up because of eyes.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. He's giving up stuff underneath only. That's the only thing. And it looked like he was doing it on purpose, some of it. But it would be two things about me breaking him down on this particular. Watch this. Bow!
He hurt again. He hurt again. He hurt again. Hey man, this boy is punishing Jefferson. This boy is punishing this boy. Look at him. He hurt again. Look at him.
Yikes.
I'm hurt. He hurt me.
Yeah. He finna go press now? No, he ain't press. Okay, you off. Okay.
Yeah, he played some good off. That was a bad break.
Bad break.
That was a bad break. But Jefferson also run the best outs in the game. Go ahead, Wes.
Now, I was going to say, man, you're getting a guy that's like 3-4 years removed from the NFL saying that he was the best defensive player in the entire football league.
Right.
There. And then think about this. We got to also remember, if you're an older player and you're still able to play a young man's game, that means you have adapted. Because one thing about as you get older, you identify your flaws way quicker than a young man, because a young man thinks you're going to live forever.
Oh, you see that? Hold on, Wes. Did you see that? Look at him.
Yeah. Climb back on that one.
Ooh, he killing Jefferson. Ooh, and slammed him on his head again. But go ahead, Wes.
So it's like, if you're at this point of his game, I can almost guarantee you can sit down with Gilmore and ask him realistically, what are the things you are not necessarily lacking, but what are your strengths and your weaknesses? And I'm gonna tell you, as a veteran player, been in his position, he'd literally be able to tell you. But I'm gonna tell you something that I love and why I don't even care about when people say, washed or his age. Bro, look at the way he plays. He plays like a young man, bro.
Facts.
He's an older man standing over a man that's probably 5 years his younger man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He plays with some of these guys are just like, if you can maintain your body and you're in the things that you do, I'm not saying injuries won't happen, but that it just doesn't catch up to you like it catches up to everybody. And his career says, for the most part, he's going to be healthy. Everything in life is a gamble. So, I mean, if you're going to take a gamble, this is about as good as you're going to get, man. This is about as good as you're going to get for the gamble. And let's just be real. At the back of our mind, we know that we were not going to go out and buy guaranteed production. That's cost $20 million. We're not going to do that. But for $9 million and you get the expertise, man, like I said, unless you're just trying to be negative today, there's no way you can see this in a negative light. None. There's no way.
So, I want to go around the circle and ask some questions real quick. I'm going to start with you, Law. What does this acquisition mean for Diggs?
Everything. I look at it like, man, when Diggs played against the Colts this past year, he was trying to grab the jersey of Stephon Gilmore. And I look at Gilmore as a guy that can be a professor out there on the field, a guy that can give him some information on how to play certain things and how to preserve his body and how to attack and go aggressively for the ball. So it's always those 1-2 punches. Now, even if it's trade-offs, if it's a dominant wide receiver one that's a little bigger in frame, that Diggs say, hey, Gilmore, why don't you take that since you played against this guy multiple times, and let me take the number two wide receiver on the field. Those things can be great trade-offs, and I just want our corners to be able to have the quarterbacks to think twice before they challenge and try to thread that ball in that area. And we will be able to see that now because of the fact that you got a Trayvon Diggs on one side and as well as a Gilmore on the other side. People not going to just continue to try that, man, and he's going to be able to collect. So that's why it's a benefit for us to have Gilmore on this team.
So what does it mean, OC?
Well, it means three things in my opinion. If you look at Gilmore and you look at his body of work throughout his career, you know, in every profession that I've ever been involved in, whether that be sales, marketing, real estate, business, you know, when you talk to the older people, what you get is you get a real keen sense of the fundamentals. And I think that he's going to bring that in terms of example and even maybe speech to a person like Diggs that at times maybe didn't have the greatest fundamentals. No, he has the talent, but at times will lose his fundamentals. So A, fundamentals. B, a physical style of play for a taller, thinner type defensive back, right? Because he's a taller, leaner type guy, but he's extremely physical. So I think that physicality on a football team is contagious. When you see one person get physical, all of a sudden you want to be more physical.
Facts.
That's just how it is. So he's gonna bring that to him. Number three is something we hadn't said. He's an insurance policy.
Ooh.
Don't sleep on that. He's a great insurance policy against injury. So if any of these boys go down, you got a guy that's capable of playing a number one receiver based on the film we just saw.
Wes.
I can say from a couple standpoints. From a tactical standpoint, I think this allows you now to allow Diggs to actually travel. One thing I'll say like this: I was a cornerback by trade. That's what I did, and I played with this dude named Shane Burrows. Shane Burrows was a dude that had multiple tryouts with the Arizona Cardinals. This dude had multiple tryouts with everybody. This is when we playing semi-pro, and I used to absolutely hate it when he had to travel, because what people don't understand is there's only two corners on the field, right? So if he has to travel, that means technically I have to travel too. You know what I'm saying? Because if he's on one side, that means
you got to go on the other side.
I have to go on the other side. So when you man up, when you say, oh, now Diggs can play that one guy, we really couldn't do that. Diggs was literally, if you guys remember, Diggs was known for locking down a side. You know what I'm saying? Now you have a cornerback, a number two legitimate cornerback, where you can actually go into a game plan and be like, Trevon Diggs, you're going to be on Jamar Chase 45 snaps. If he in there 50, you're going to be on him 50. And you can have faith in your second corner to line it up, because that's one of the things I think that we really lost when we lost Anthony Brown due to injury. When we lost Anthony Brown due to injury, it basically made Trevon Diggs stay on one side, because if you travel him with a number two corner that's not that good, all they're going to do is just send him to the opposite side of the play. We're going to send him left, we'll throw right. We'll send him right, we'll throw left. They're just going to do that all game. But now that you have Gilmore, and think about this, theoretically, bro, you could literally go, like, I'm going to tell you, on my mama, man, and my mama's a Cowboy fan.
On my mama.
When the Cowboys play the Eagles, I'm putting Diggs on AJ, I'm putting Gilmore on Smith, and y'all can figure out everything else. That's my game plan. That's my game plan, because I believe my number one can shut your number one down, and I believe my number two, he might catch him slipping on the little, you know what I'm saying, because he still 30, but for the most part, Gilmore gonna hold his own. But man, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's no doubt. So check this out. On another note, just because I want to look at this from all angles. What does it mean for Anthony Brown, Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright, and Jordan Lewis? What does it mean?
Oh, that's easy, boss. You know what that means, boss. You know what that means, boss. You ought to know what that means you gotta fight for your life. Okay. Fight for your life. Because if you tripping, bro, you ain't get on that field. If you tripping at all, you ain't get on that field. You'll fight for reps. Go ahead.
Hey, OC, you know what it really means? It really means they dropped them all in a proverbial pit with a knife and said the one who walk out alive is the one with the contract. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, there it is. There it is.
It's supposed to be. That's what it's
fight for your life, baby. Competition, baby. It's competition. You gotta win, baby. You gotta win for real.
Okay, I'm gonna ask y'all another question too, man, and I really want to hear from everybody. I'm gonna sit back and listen to the show. I ain't gonna even do a lot of talking to the show. I want to listen. Do we potentially have the best secondary in the league right now? And I mean that with Diggs, Bland, and Gilmore. See what? Okay, what we gonna do with Bland? Like for real? Cause see, is Bland gonna be in the slot or is he your number 2?
He's in a slot.
You're number
He's in a
2.
slot.
Oh no! Wait.
I think you're number 2. I think you're number 2 because of the fact that this, and I'm gonna say this, and I've said this before. I'm gonna say this just real quick, and I want to get you guys' feedback too. If Bland takes any of the steps, right, at least 50% of the steps, right, that you had from our number 1 corner Diggs from year 1 to year 2, he's a Pro Bowl cornerback.
Exactly.
He played like a first rounder, man. That's the thing that people not saying. This boy played like a first rounder. Right. So if he takes the progression from year 1 to year 2, this boy is easily a Pro Bowler. He's definitely a number 2. Yeah, you can play him in a slot. I'm not saying you can't do it to mix it up based upon the teams you play and the schemes and who plays in that slot. You absolutely can do that. But man, he's a bona fide number 2, man, in my opinion, for sure. But go ahead, guys.
I want to hear this.
This is what I'll say. I am gonna agree with you. Because in talent, he is the number 2. But I don't believe that the number 2 receiver is more dangerous than the slot receiver for us.
Okay.
Because what I've seen is teams, we're not a team that tackles well. And so we're not a team that tackles well. What teams usually do is they use the short game run as run game. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if I'm playing like Washington, and I'm playing like these little teams with these wide receivers that kill us on the inside, yes, in talent, he is my number 2 corner because he's the second best corner on this team by far. But I'm going to put him where he can minimize the most damage on me. And if he can shut down a slot, then that forces these guys. Because, I mean, you got to think, outside routes are easier to defend than slot, man. And to be honest with you, the slot corner in today's NFL is really turning out to be the number 1 corner. Because these dudes, every team can't afford a Jamar Chase. But everybody can afford this little fast little dude from such a Macho state that can just run and do all that crap. So it's like, that's why I say I agree with you because he definitely is the second best corner on this team. But I think these teams that we played, like you basically took my answer, OZ, when you cleaned it up at the end. And it was like the scheme, I think, is going to dictate that to help us best, the second best receiver is probably going to be on the slot. Think about this. Our second best receiver right now is probably going to be in the slot.
Somebody say stop playing Madden, guys. Who you talking to, bro? Who you talking to? Say who you talking about. I want to know who you talking about. Say the name, dog. I want to know who you talking to. But check this out real quick, Law, because I know you want to talk about that. Go ahead, big dog.
Oh, well, inside the slot is a very pivotal area. Like what West Coast was saying, when you cover receivers with two-way goals, you got to be able to make that impact of just disrupting that. And I think that that's what Bland brings to the table. Even if I want to marry that to what the Eagles did last season, they had Slay on one side and Bradbury on the other, and their front was able to create pressure, and those guys was covering pretty well on the outside, which, case in point, they didn't want to throw the ball to the edges, so they try to force the ball inside. And then all of a sudden you see a career out of C.J. Gardner. That could be the same thing again for DaRon Bland, because now you got someone that's going to be able to control the middle of the field with their 4.4 speed, that's not afraid to come down and field. And if a quarterback is trying to rush his throws to the outside area where Gilmore is at and where Diggs is at, they're going to think twice and they're going to come back to their final read to the middle of the field, and it's Bland season. So I look at it like this, Cowboy Nation. This is going to be a good problem for us, but I go all the way back to Bill Parcells for what he said. If we think we are great at that spot on DB, draft again. Continue to look. So still go on your board BPA and still draft the best player available. And if it's somehow a DB, you still draft there. And on top of that, far as Nashawn, KJ, I think KJ going to find himself on this team because of CJ is on his way out and Brown is gone. And you still need some special teams because I know Coach Bones going to be banging on the table. But it's a real short leash for J. Lou, and it's a real short leash for Nashawn Wright. But the only thing is with Anthony Brown, organically, he's not signed with the Cowboys. He's a free agent. So it's already kumbaya for him.
Can I be messy?
Let me circle the block just real quick, boss. And I don't want to interrupt. And with respect to all you guys' football acumen, I like to propose a question. And this is what I've struggled with. And this is really a question on why I think Bland is really the number 2 versus a slot. Because in my opinion, and I want you guys to correct me on this if you feel like I'm wrong. It's fine. I'm open to criticism. I would rather get beat underneath than over the top. And I think that what we saw before the injury of the cat with 9 lives, Brown, we saw schematically a lot of ISOs, and they intentionally ISO'd him. They would trips one way, they would ISO him, and they go attack him with the deep ball. First and second down. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not coming against him. He gave up, a good amount of big plays. So I'm thinking in my mind, I would rather have a young guy that could help neutralize that ISO one-on-one and sacrifice potentially getting beat underneath versus the TD. But that's my opinion. I like feedback.
I mean, if you
let me get downs on that one, then
Yeah. Go ahead, Wes.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, you also got to pull Malik Hooker's pull his ass in this conversation too, because some of that getting beat deep. Where the hell was my free safety at? Some of them getting beat deep.
Okay.
That's a whole other conversation. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this, right? If a team really, listen to me, if an offensive line, well, I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Name me an offensive line that is going to protect a quarterback that is going to allow you, while Micah Parsons and Sam Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence is rushing after your ass, give you enough time to look at Trevon Diggs, say, nah, I can't throw over there. Look at Gilmore, say, nah, I can't throw over there. Look at Bland, oh, no, oh, yeah, I might get it in there. Bro, that's like 8 seconds. By that time, Micah Parsons will have slammed you on the ground and will have been dancing over your soul. You know what I'm saying? One thing I think a lot of people are also forgetting, too, is like, this is probably, like I said in our show earlier today, this is probably the best defensive front that Gilmore's probably played with in a very, very long time. Like, Buckner's a dude, but Buckner's a defensive tackle. He's not bringing in like Micah Parsons off the edge. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what this also does is, if my corners can get guys to look off, Gilmore actually might put a couple more sacks in the box too. By just him giving you better coverage.
Cover sack. Yep. And all sacks matters, man. And to my guy OC's point, a lot of teams put their number 1 wide receiver into the slot. So I don't see any problems with that, because even with CeeDee Lamb, he's not going to primarily be on the X or on the outside in this offense. They're going to move him inside. So why not have a guy that's young, that runs a 4.4, that greets physicality like a Bland inside? And I do like that. And if you want to name him number 2, let him be number 2 by name. But by film, it's going to still be Gilmore on the outside, and, of course, Diggs on the other side on the outside. So all of those things work together, y'all. I promise you, this team is a whole lot better than what it was last season, just by paper name for right now. And I can't wait to put those things together. And like we said, man, we seen 3rd and Brown, we seen 3rd and Deshaun, 3rd down and whoever there, Trayvon Mullen, but let it be 3rd and Gilmore. Shoot, Gilmore gonna make you pay. If you think I'm lying, I know a couple of years ago in 2019 when it was raining, we tried to attempt to throw it to our number 1 wide receiver, and he picked it off.
Right, and so I think we got the best secondary in the league.
Oh, you want to go ahead and say it, huh?
You bringing out
are you saying that on paper, or are you saying that on actual tangible evidence right now?
Tangible evidence.
Ooh,
so you're giving the anointing oil? We're bringing out the anointing oil.
Lay my hands on you, heathen. I'm going to lay my hands on you in the name of Jesus and cast that demon out of all you doubters.
No, just pour the Kool-Aid out. That's what I'm asking you.
You don't think I will? I'm drinking all the Kool-Aid on our secondary. Why are you not drinking the Kool-Aid on this?
Hey, can I?
I love DBs, but man, God dog, it's March.
Is that really a reach though? Is that really a reach?
It's March. I don't want us to be comfortable right now.
Can I make my case loud? Can I make my case?
Yeah. But let me hit the Kool-Aid just one more time.
One more time, and I'm gonna make my whole case. I'm gonna make my whole case why this is the best secondary in the league. All right,
go ahead.
All right, so we just signed Donovan Wilson. Was he not a Pro Bowler?
Ooh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So was Curse a real Pro Bowler that didn't get it the year before?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got basically 2 Pro Bowlers just sitting in the back end, right? All right. So we gonna say Malik Hooker. Okay. We gonna be like, right? We gonna say okay. Hey, but we got with Gilmore, like West Coast said, making the point. He gonna be taking the number 2 or number 3. So you got a number 1 corner taking the number 2 or number 3. Is that not a major advantage? Man. Then you got to the OC's points. I'm speaking the OC's words now. What did you say that What did you say that Bland played like?
A first rounder.
So we got basically a first round nickel.
Okay, keep pouring that Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I'm drinking it.
You're drinking it. Okay.
And then on top of that, we got us a corner who done shut down Chase, who done shut down Jefferson. You know what I mean? I know he had missed a couple of tackles in the playoffs, but if we look at him over the span of the season, how can we not, even in good logic, not even drinking Kool-Aid, say that with this move, we not the best?
Because I'm gonna tell you because the same reason why people got mad when LeBron James said he was the best. People listen to me. People don't like that, man.
America they don't like.
I'm just telling you, people don't like that, man. Like they don't like champions. That's just what they don't like. Like people get mad at the Cowboys because the Cowboys want to win a Super Bowl every year. But hey, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna piss in all your Kool-Aid real quick. Y'all keep on talking about y'all. Listen to me. How y'all up here talking about the best secondary in the NFL? Listen to me. How good is your secondary if you don't sign Trevon Diggs and he don't play on that $2 million that everybody swear for and Jesus that he gonna play? Right. Now I'm gonna tell you a little something too. Under the new CBA, the Cowboys the NFL can only fine him $40,000 a day for every missed practice. Well, guess what? There's only 26 days of training camp. That comes up to $1.4 million. That's still lower than $2 million. Trevon Diggs is not going to play for $2 million. Think about this. The entire cornerback room right now is costing the Dallas Cowboys for 2023, $12.68 million. That's $9.9 million for Gilmore. That's $780,000 for Bland and $2 million for Stephon Diggs. And you guys are talking about they're the best, one of the best DBs in the room. Listen to me. If I'm Diggs, think about this. Gilmore makes $7 million. Listen to me. Gilmore is going to make $7 million than Trevon Diggs. Why should he play? Why should he play?
Nah, the first tweet I put when they signed him is "Thank you, Dallas, but you still gotta sign Diggs." You know what I mean? Yeah. So I agree with you all the way on that. West.
So I want to know what. Listen to me, because hey, listen, ain't nobody in the world better than that capologist than Boss Cowboy. Hey, listen, but no, Boss invented the word
enumeration.
Enumeration. There you go. I want some of that Boss stank, man. I want to know, what do you guys think is gonna happen with Trevon Diggs? Because he does not follow the Dallas Cowboys as of right now. Like, and in 2023, if your lady listen to me, fellas, in 2023, if your lady unfollows you, that means something. That wasn't an accident.
We go pay him.
Well, I think you should pay him before you pay CD Lamb. CD Lamb got the umbrella of the 5th-year option, and the 5th-year option is right at $19 million. So the Cowboys got enough money right now to go ahead and ink in a deal. It should be Diggs first, solidify your defense. I think that this defense, look, let me ask all of y'all on this panel, which one is closer to becoming elite, the defense or the offense?
Defense.
Hey, well, defense wins what?
Championship. So they say.
So let's go ahead, ink him in. Hey, we solidify our secondary. Let's focus in on the defensive front and get a big boy defensive tackle, because I asked this to my guy Wes earlier. The first move the Kansas City Chiefs made was in this offseason was solidify their offensive line.
Right.
And they just lifted up their Lombardi trophy. I think, in my opinion, their second move, and it could be no more than an opinion, could be facts, was solidifying the defensive end and its defensive front. They are making moves on the trenches. You win games down in the trenches. So if the Cowboys are serious about this, let's go ahead and solidify this defense and get a boy down inside on that defensive front, but still go ahead and show up that defensive back with Trayvon Diggs.
I mean, Cowboys just restructure. I mean, listen to me. We all know if you go Google how much money DeMarcus Lawrence is supposed to make this year, you know they're going to do something to his contract.
Right.
My little I think
26 million.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the number I was thinking too.
Him and Dak, same price, baby.
And I'm gonna tell you this. I think when they restructured D-Law, that's when you're gonna see a dick, because right now they have more money that they can create just by restructuring D-Law, and we know D-Law is not about to pay for no $26 million.
No,
like he's not. But the Cowboys are not gonna do that.
they not. No.
So think about this. You're telling players they don't have money, but we know as
They got
mature
money.
Cowboys fans, they do have an extra money with D-Law's contract.
Go ahead, OC.
I mean,
Well, this is what you do. This is what you do with Trayvon Diggs. You double your pleasure, you double your fun. You see that Stephon Gilmore number at $9 million, you double it up, baby. You got to bring him back at 18 to 20 per. About a 4-year, $80 million deal to get it done. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. You do what they did with Payne. You give him a 4-year deal with an opt-out after 3 years, guarantee $60 to $65 million of that money, and he's go sign it. That's what he's gonna do, straight up.
Man.
So that's how you deal with that. That's what you need to do.
and
The OC.
There's no emotions, no friends, no loyalty.
Straight business.
Straight business.
Put hashtag straight business in the chat.
And you know what and can I add one caveat? I like that word. You know what? One caveat you add to it, you call the contract an extension. So guess what? The contract won't even start till next year. I would make it an extension. So guess what? Diggs would then sign the contract. You give him like a $15 million signing bonus, and he still plays for 2023 for $2 million. Now I know that went over a bunch of people's head. You guys stay with the final word. They'll break it down in a couple weeks. But literally, the Cowboys could still they could still make it an extension. You know how when people you at somebody else's church and they say something like, "Your pastor he'll explain it to you when you get home." You know what I'm saying? But the Cowboys can literally take the deal. They could give Trevon Diggs a deal right now, the exact deal that you just said. The OC, that was perfect. He's going to be a top 5 corner. You make the deal an extension that starts in 2024. So guess what? You give him the $15 million signing bonus. He doesn't give a damn because his bank account don't know the difference. And then guess what? He gets $2 million as his actual roster to be on the roster. And there you go. He just made the same $17, $18 million, but you only got to pay for 2.
I'm gonna flip the script on y'all real quick. Y'all ready? So we looking at the contracts that's coming in so far. Sometimes it helps when you can see it from a big picture. What does it say before free agency even officially started that we got a contract with Stephon Gilmore, we got a contract with LVE on the way, go be signed by tomorrow, and we got a contract with Donovan Wilson? What does that say? I'm gonna start with you, Wes. What is that saying?
I don't want to start no drama, but a couple of the homies on Twitter that got blue checks verified said that the Dallas Cowboys hadn't talked to anybody. You know what I'm saying? So then 2 days later, the Cowboys got damn near 5 contracts. I'm like, damn, are the Cowboys feeding bad information and good information at the same
Yes,
time?
they are.
Because I'm like, listen to me. I'm like, how did because listen to me. I'm not going to name no names. I ain't start no drama. But if you watch that video, and I see a couple of y'all, because I was in that live with you when he said it. When he said that the Cowboys hadn't talked to anybody, and then the very next day they signed 5 people, I'm like,
They lying to you, dog.
Yeah,
Somebody get lied to you, dog.
Because it's impossible that they did these types
Stop
of deals.
carrying that water. Stop carrying the water.
Oh, wait.
Like,
I said it. Yes, I'm not taking it back.
Wait, be nice.
I'm just saying, stop carrying that water. That's all. Go ahead. Go ahead, boss.
No. Go ahead. Yeah, no, you good points though. But I mean, the Cowboys got caught up in a lie. If you want to admit it, the Cowboys they did get caught up in a lie. They were putting out
all right, so they lied. So what does it say? What do you see because free agency ain't even started, Wes.
They lied on that too.
And we got all right, so I'm gonna tell you what I see. I see a focus on the defense. I see Mike McCarthy and Dan Quinn on the same page to where the strength of this team is the defense. And even before free agency started, we are showing it by signing these dudes. You know what I'm saying? That's what I see.
And letting the offensive guys go, like the guard, the
wide
receiver.
Yes, Law.
Yeah.
Am I tripping?
No, you're not, man. This is what we can see with our eyes. I was talking about it like this: who get a chance to play with the toys? And right now, Dan Quinn getting his toys. I think that Dan Quinn footprint is a bigger footprint than Mike McCarthy so far, because in his 2 years that he was here, we seen the fingerprints of Dan Quinn, right? It was hard to find Mike McCarthy's fingerprints on his offense and on his team in general, but we've seen some things that was good. Last season, we didn't have back-to-back losses. We didn't have things that we are accustomed to seeing. When the starting quarterback goes down, that means the team goes down outside of 2016, right? So we're now seeing things that's changing a little bit with the Cowboys organization. Yeah. So maybe this could be an offensive very much led team in the draft. It could be the first 3 picks offense. I'm quite sure that when you was all big eyes and googly eyes on that offensive line last week, and I was sitting there like, man, I F them offensive linemen, but I might have to sit back and learn from you guys. But when you was talking about that made me think that, hey, with these first 2 picks, it's going to be somewhere along the way of offense. What's your thought?
Too. Shit.
Hey, shout out one-handed bandit with the super chat. He trying to remind you. Hey, boss, he got you. Hey, we got you though, one-handed bandit.
Hey, let me go ahead and get to it, man, because I see it. Let me go ahead and get to it. It's a little bit harder when we got all these people on the panel, but we gonna still get to y'all money.
Salute to y'all, man. Appreciate y'all.
Patrick No C Water just tweeted that Lou is not in a boot, scooter, or no limp. He should be good for camp.
For somebody's camp, though. Good for him. Good for him.
Wait. I say the same thing. But going around the circle,
good for him.
OC, what's your thoughts on just the pattern that we seeing? And this is obviously before the official start of free agency, which is tomorrow. What's your thoughts on the pattern that we seeing so far?
Well, I think that if I think back to Mike McCarthy and what he did with his roster back in Green Bay in his championship heyday, he always had a strong bottom half of the roster. And that's what I think he's doing here. I think that he's making sure that he has strength and depth at all positions. And I do think that you're right, Boss Cowboy. You are going to see some offensive moves. You are going to see an offensive lineman get drafted in the first 2 rounds by the Dallas Cowboys, in my opinion. And you're bringing back the players that they trust, right? And proud of LVE, too, if he actually gets the ink, because LVE played his way into a new contract. He played his way. And I respect the man for that, because I've been hard on LVE, but I want to salute him and give him his flowers because he played his way. Now, we know that it's not a max or a big deal because Stephen Jones said it depends on the number. So we know it's a very responsible contract, right? But however, he's getting the players back that he feels are that make him feel good about running his system and that have performed. And so those are all good signs that it is going to be Mike McCarthy's turn, to Law's point, here very, very shortly. It's going to be Big Mike's turn to do his thing.
And did you speak on that, Law? Because I know you had some comments, but did you spoke on the specifics of what it means or what you seeing? What's the signals that you seeing from even before free agency officially starts? What's the signals that you seeing?
For right now, the market for Schultz, if he's a free on the market, There's not a lot of people beating down the door for him. There's not a lot of people beating down the door for the backup quarterback. So I'm looking at it like this: they are squeezing those guys down, and they are playing with fire too with Terrence Steele because they got a second-round draft pick tender on him, and they leaving him out there on the streets uncovered. So the Cowboys are willing to allow Mike McCarthy to probably eat in this draft that's coming around the corner, because there's no way that I'm gonna go out here and allow my people to be uncovered like this. So it's about to be some shaking and moving on Mike McCarthy's side on the offense, from what I can see. But tampering is over with. Now you can really talk to the people legally tomorrow. So we'll see how things shake out tomorrow. It's gonna be some good news tomorrow.
West Coast.
Man,
I was finna flip the script a little bit.
Can I say these two little points?
Absolutely. Please do.
My first point is this. There was no reason for Jerry Jones to even bring up Dak Prescott's name last week. I think we can all admit that he was lying when he said that, it's really hard to, divvy up the pie when you have one player that's taking up so much of the pie. Dak stopped so much. Like, you literally, Jerry Jones took a shot at his quarterback, ran his quarterbacks, his approval rating through the nation for no reason, bruh.
Yeah.
For no reason.
I like how you said that he ran his approval rating. That was real, dog.
Bro, listen, a quarterback is almost like the president, bro. A quarterback is
that's real. That's so real.
Like, you're only doing as good as the people's opinion of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be doing great, but if the opinion is you suck, then what is your approval rate?
Yeah, you suck. Based on what their opinion is of you, you suck because he was dragged through the mud. But continue. This is good.
But yeah, you literally dragged your quarterback's his approval rate through the mud for no reason, because you could have just said that, hey, man, because of Dak and him being such a willing player, such a team player, we're going to restructure him and he's going to help us get some folks. But instead, he said Dak's the reason why we can't. You know what I'm saying? That's weird to me.
I will, and you go feel me on this, defend Jerry just a little bit, just a tiny bit. Please, nobody shoot me for this. See, if in the starter free agency, I would give him a pass for pretending to be cheap.
You got to pretend to be broke.
Right, you feel what I'm saying? Because you getting ready to pay a lot of players. I knew you would feel me too. I knew you would feel me when I said that too, Wes. I knew you would feel me, dog. I knew you would feel me now. So, but that's just a little bit of a defense. That's a little bit of a defense. Just tiny though. Please, nobody shoot. Everybody be cool. Yeah.
I ain't gonna shoot, but I do want to comment. I do want to comment.
Here we go.
I mean, listen, guys, listen, just boss. I mean, listen, and I feel you on the gamesmanship, but I mean, it's levels to the game, right? And we all know there's levels to the game. It's levels. It's levels. So it's only so many $1 billion stadiums you can build or be a part of, and then pretend that you're broke. It's only so much money you can restructure and pretend like you don't have money underneath the cap. It's only so many contract negotiations that you can have with a variety of agents, high-powered agents that get paid to get their players money and act like that their agent has no knowledge. No knowledge. They're complete imbeciles. They're idiots. They're stupid. They're uninformed. They have no idea how much money that you have available to sign their player. Come on now. Man, stop the cap. Stop the literally. No pun intended. Stop the cap. I mean, you got to stop at some point.
Stop the cap. All right, cool.
Hey, I like. No. Hey, it's something about this dude in his car. It's something about this dude in his car right here with the light skinned dude. It's something about I love you. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of that went over your head.
But let me talk about this right quick. In 2010, we're going all the way back to the Green Bay Packers in 2010. They won the Super Bowl that year. And the defense that year was more known than the offense, believe it or not. They had about 4 guys that made it to Pro Bowl on the defensive side. Who remember the 2 lockdown corners they had? They had Tremaine Williams. Y'all remember Tremont Williams? Remember him? Pro Bowl. Charles Woodson, you remember him? Pro Bowl.
Pro
And
Bowl.
then they had Nick Collins, right? He made the Pro Bowl that year. And those are all in the secondary. But what if I told you Clay Matthews that season had 14 sacks, right? And then they had big boys down inside, BJ Raji and Cullen Jenkins. A lot of people probably don't remember those two big boys, but if you go Google it right quick, BJ Raji, real big boy. The only person that made it to the Pro Bowl on the offensive side was Greg Jennings, and as well as Chad Clifton. Everyone else was like ancillary pieces. Why am I saying this? Is that was Mike McCarthy's team. That was a team that made it to the playoffs 10-6. Can the Cowboys figure out ways to let this defense be the driving pace for this team? And remember what Mike McCarthy said in the presser. I'm not looking to be the number one offense. I'm not looking to be the top creme de la creme offense.
Yeah, he won't
I'm looking for it to be a complete team.
Yeah.
And the best way you can do that is stifle the defense, make the defense really good, and then just control the ball with your offense.
All right, so I'm gonna flip it. Did you have something else on that, OC? Because I want to
No,
flip it to
you good.
Okay, here we go. So I want to flip it to Donovan Wilson. Because honestly, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think he was gonna come back. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't think he was gonna come back. So, like, what does it say for the Dallas Cowboys to sign him? Like, what does it say about him, and what does it say? Period. I'm gonna start with you, Lofton.
The signing means everything.
And elaborate
the dude
too, because I'm trying to get big game James in here.
Yeah, the man had 5 sacks last season, and on top of that, he had right around 2 intentional groundings. That put you really at 7 sacks, and he led the team in tackles with 101. That ain't nothing to sneeze at.
No.
And when you was looking for someone to make that big hit to change the outcome of the game, you saw this dude that wore number 6 out there. So he was that guy. Think about this. We probably lose to the Texans if he don't force that fumble, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what he brings to the table. And I like his skill set. Hey, he did have, if you want to look at a draw on his play or a flaw in his play, you can say sometimes he's over aggressive. He had 16 missed tackles. You can look at that. But outside of that, the 1 INT he had and all what he brought to the table, remarkable. 3 years with this dude, that's everything for $24 million. Shoot, we got him at a discount.
Yeah, man. And real quick, Big, he came in. I think he was having a little bit of technical difficulty because I see a lot of people asking for Big. Big is here. We're just trying to get it to work, man. I don't know what's going on, but we gonna get him on in here. All right, what's your thoughts on Donovan Wilson, Wes?
My first initial thoughts is this: when it comes to the contract negotiations, the Cowboys have some huge contract negotiations, and with the Cowboys, I'm gonna just say it. When you can't screw everybody, all right? Like you gotta have somebody that you can be like, yeah, you see this guy, he did it our way, we took care of him, and look where he's at now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You need a guy because we're about to go through that next wave of like contract, and these new guys, man. Micah Parsons is not gonna go quietly if he doesn't get what he wants, bruh. Like Diggs, these guys are not going to go quietly. So you need someone in your system who you feel has done it your way and then reward them so that these guys can kind of like have something to shoot for. So I like it from that aspect. Also, when I look at Donovan Wilson, he's a safety playing linebacker. So it has to be expected that he's going to miss tackles. Like linebackers miss tackles. And he's not even a linebacker. He's undersized. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you also got to think like this. He's undersized for his position, and he's excelling in that position. So you got to like pay for that uptick. You know what I'm saying? So I think this is just a really good look for the Dallas Cowboys. And also, I think this is a good segue for them to kind of give an olive branch to the fan base too, because a lot of times, man, we be thinking the Cowboys like, boss, I know you say your voice matters, but the Cowboys be showing us all the time that our voice don't matter. But guess what? Donovan Wilson, when we saw him signed, for everybody that's been pushing him and been, saying that, man, this dude gets turnovers, play him, like it felt like we all won. Like it literally, I talked to his mom this morning, man, and like just hearing that, man, the jubilation, like I said, man, it just literally, when Donovan Wilson got signed, it literally felt like the hood won. Like we all won. Like I felt good, man. It made me feel good to get him get signed, man.
Yeah, that's dope, man.
Yeah, I think Donovan Wilson, he's a dude, man, that is just a tone setter. You know, Micah Parsons inspires the team with sacks, man. He gets people going when he makes plays, but Donovan Wilson really sets the physicality tone, coming up, thumping people, and just being just a football player. And so that's the thing I love about him, man. Happy for him, happy for his family. Good job, man, on the Cowboys on being fair to him, in my opinion, for his skill set and getting him a good, solid, short-term contract. So that's all positive and helps us be stronger in the back end, man, for, the next several years for sure.
I'm going to put two questions together on this one. So LVE basically signed a 2-year deal with Dallas. What does that mean? And what does that mean for Bobby Wagner? I'm going to start with you. Who did I start with? I'm going to start with you, OC.
Yeah, I mean, LVE is a complementary piece, man. He's not a centerpiece. He's a guy that knows your offense, knows your defense, and a guy that ran well, started to come downhill the second half of the season, being extremely physical, really playing for his life. That's what I saw. I saw a man that was playing for his life. And so he was rewarded with a short-term deal. Again, notice the theme, a 2-year contract, even shorter than Donovan Wilson. So he's a guy that you have as a security blanket, as a guy that you want to make some plays for you at the Sam or the Will linebacker, and a guy that you're going to eventually replace with younger, better linebackers as soon as you can get a hold of them and as soon as you can get them up to speed and get proof of concept in terms of training camp and some preseason games, in my opinion.
Go ahead, Wes.
This is my thoughts, man. I'm trying to really look at his contract, because typically when the Dallas Cowboys give someone this is what I say in contract negotiations. If I was ever an agent, I would never let my client sign a 2-year deal, because in my opinion, a 2-year deal is literally a 1-year deal with a tryout. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Where you literally got to play good. And my thing is this: if we're gonna try out for any team, it needs to be for everybody in the NFL. Me personally, I'll sign a 1-year deal before I sign a 2-year deal. It's either going to be 1 year or 3 years. You know what I'm saying? But 2 is out of the question. So typically when the Cowboys do that, and if we look, I don't think they put it up there, but typically there's always an early out. So this will probably honestly be a 1-year deal with the possibility of like $1 million or some small amount of dead cap money. So if it doesn't work out, you can just let him go the next year. You know what I'm saying? But I think that, listen, one thing I know about, there's 2 ways you can get a middle linebacker. You either go get a guy and let him develop and go with the lumps and bumps, or you're going to go do what the Ravens do and just go give somebody $20 million a year and say the problem's fixed. Cowboys are not going to do that. So if you're going to go with a guy like Clark as your middle linebacker as the future, he needs games. He needs games to play well, and then he also needs games where he can play bad and then come back from that. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's a better Band-Aid than Gilmore. I still believe Gilmore's a Band-Aid. You know what I'm saying? If the Porter kid's there at 26, you take him. You take him. Like, I'm not, anything that I'm doing. The cool thing about these moves is, I'm going to tell you this: none of the moves that I'm doing right now stops me from changing my draft board. And honestly, you still need Bobby Wagner. You know what I'm saying? We should still be saying Bobby Wagner.
Yes.
Because we need Bobby Wagner. We needed Bobby. Listen to me. You have 2 linebackers.
Right.
Remember, guys, we're not trying to improve a player. We're trying to improve the room. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? In a 17-game season, nobody's going to play 17 games. Everybody's going to miss a game. I promise you, for Dak's career, he's going to miss at least 1 game every season. Yeah. Nobody's playing 17 games. So you need that rotation. So that's why I think I believe the same. I said this on my show earlier with Law. I said, man, if Jeff Heath is my worst safety, it's my best safety, we in trouble. But if Jeff Heath is my worst safety, then guess what? We good. I see it the same way to LVE. Bro, if you're looking at me and you're telling me LVE is the best, is going to be our best linebacker, bro, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. We got to get LVE in a situation where we at least have a guy that's either as good as him or preferably better. So you still need Bobby. You still need Bobby Wagner.
So
Like, let's not do that.
before you go, Law, Jane Slater, thank you, Star. She said, Jane Slater said, can confirm the Cowboys kicked around the idea of Darius Slay. Ooh, that would have been dirty. I would have loved it too. I would have killed Philly on Twitter. Ooh, they would have hated my guts.
They ate all of their words, man.
I would have made them. Yeah. I would have. But I like Gilmore better. As for Bobby Wagner, I'm told that's probably out with the LV deal done. So, Law, go ahead.
I can live with Bobby Wagner deal being moved on if the money is not there, even though I would love to see Bobby Wagner on this team. 6 sacks last season, 2 INTs, and was rated the best linebacker in the NFL last season. If he's doing that at washed, you know what I'm saying? You can only imagine if he's washed and he's better than what LVE production was. Man, that's crazy. But the thing we've been talking about with LVE was with speed, right? He's lacking of speed, and his depth tackles are like one of the worst in the National Football League. The things that LVE benefit from with us having him on this team is cover. You know, he can cover the hook area pretty well, but when it's time to go to the sideline, he's a little late there. So this shouldn't change up our draft board at all if Trenton Simpson is there. And if you really like what he brings to the table, pick him up. Drew Sanders. We talked about Jack Campbell, Henley. We talked about him on the show, as well as Overshawn. We talked about those boys. So the Cowboys still need to do their homework. And even inside conversations, boss, we talked about how Harper was saying, shoot, give me that dog on bone.
Man,
I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to give it back.
Yeah,
so Harper, Harper 4-4 guy now.
Yeah, he
4-4 guy.
He's a 4-4 guy.
He's, look, everything that we like how old boy hit, Harper hit just like, Harper played just like my guy, my guy who we just signed today, man, it's the tip of my tongue. Dono. As far as that hitting, Harper hit like Dono, but Harper's bigger.
And Harper fast. Harper's sideline to sideline guy, man. He is a sideline to sideline cat, and he's gone. So I love him, man. I can't wait to see this kid on the field.
Wait till y'all see him. Y'all gonna be like, shoot, why we even entertain this? You know,
for real. Go ahead. I can hear you, Wes. What did you say?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, man, he's definitely a run stopping linebacker. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was kind of surprised. Like, there's some questions. Like, I think we should do a whole show on, like, man, if we could ask Jerry Jones anything, like, or ask these defensive coordinators anything. Like, I love Dan Quinn, but there are some weird stuff that he did that I didn't understand. Like, why did Clark play but Harper didn't? Also, why did Trevon Diggs get more safety coverage than the opposing second corner did? Those are two things I would just like. And listen, I trust you, Dan Quinn. I'm just seeing me and my film watch has posed those two questions because they, like, I never understood that. Why would you chance Clark coming off of injury? Harper was 100% healthy, and like they didn't even give him an opportunity. So I'm like, I'd be curious, like, were we just like, what was the thought process behind that? And then, like I said, the second question I'd ask him is, why did you feel that Diggs needed coverage instead of like Xavier Rhodes? Like, think about this.
Yeah, he kept rolling coverage that way. That y'all helped me out with that too. Yeah, it was weird, man.
Hey, that's why you know you
another thing, Wes. I got something else that's weird.
That film, Law.
I got something else that's weird.
Yeah,
this was weird. Jabril Cox.
Super weird.
That was weird, man. Like, Wes.
Ultra weird.
Yeah, bro. Like, you right, and I'm glad. See, Wes. See, I'm glad you're here today, dog. Cause everybody ain't comfortable with speaking truth to power. Like, we start loving these coaches and we don't question them no more. I'm glad that we asking this question because that's a real question, especially with Harper, because Harper did hurt his Achilles, but at some point he was healthy. You know what I'm saying? So now you're right, man. That's a legitimate. Do you have something on that Cox, OC?
Man, I just think that Cox, man, is your big nickel, man. He's your big nickel. And I think that, he never really got his fair shake. I don't know if it was some undertone stuff. Like, I even made a joke about it before. Like, did he break up with somebody's daughter in the front office? I mean, did he hurt somebody's feelings? Like, what did he do? Is his leg okay? It just seems real strange that he didn't really get a lot of snaps. And I really can't really make a good reason out of it. He's a talented guy. He's good in space. He's a good enough tackler. He can cover downfield. He can definitely cover in the middle of the field. So I don't see any reason why he's not getting some play time.
I got something else for y'all, man. We gonna go around the circle with this. So James Slade out here just breaking hearts. She just breaking everybody heart. She just breaking hearts. Jay, don't do me like that, baby. Jay say, to address my mentions, not sure why D-Hop / Cowboys talk is coming from, but my sources tell me they haven't approached it and nothing there right now.
Oh man, we finna sign up tomorrow, man. Yay! D-Hop, go to Michael Parsons' tweet, because Michael Parsons was talking about D-Hop this time. You come on now.
Man, you working me low. Let me
I think
get to work.
it must have went over my head. Say the tweet one more time, because
All right,
she
let me
saying
go back to
the
this.
Cowboys have talked to him or they haven't?
They have not. They haven't even approached him. Yeah, no approaching at all.
Okay, that's what I thought I heard. That's what I thought you said. That's what I thought.
No approaching. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thing is this, right? If you go look at D-Hop's contract, go look at his dead money, and you ask yourself, is Arizona really going to pay him that? While they're actively telling him you can trade? I'm going to be honest with you. Hopkins will probably get released. You know what I'm saying? Because they've already shown that and I'm gonna tell you, if nobody's trading for him now, he's probably not. They're probably not gonna be offered. And I'm gonna think like this: if I'm an NFL team, we're probably on Sport Tech right now, looking at that debt money, and we're saying, if Arizona is already telling you that you can go look for a trade, that is signification that they really don't want you. So why would they pay that cap? If I'm the Dallas Cowboys, if you want Hopkins, I would wait till they release him. I think he's gonna get released. Because if you don't, there's no way you don't go from trying to trade someone that didn't pay. I think his dead cap is like 18, 19, 20, no, it's like 26 million. I think it's over 20 million though. Like that's part of the reason why they want to trade him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think they'll get into a position where they'll probably have to release him. But listen, I think the Cowboys will literally trade for two players that I know of by name that actually have a jersey that you can buy at a store somewhere in the same season? No.
That dude, LVE, is smooth. I see how you did that. LVE, he showed up with his nice collared shirt.
He really got screwed, though. Really think about it.
I see how you playing the game. Ooh, I see how you playing the game with your collared shirt. Yeah, what was you talking about? Look up.
Oh man, I know he tweeted somewhere about D-Hop. I'm trying to look for it myself. It was sometime on, today is the 14th, so yeah. Let me see if I can find that D-Hop tweet.
Why you looking it up? Why you looking it up? I gotta be messy, bro. I got to be messy. Hey, y'all still love Howie?
Howie Rose.
Roseman?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you do a good job. I mean, the way they figure out things and the way they consistently can stay after. I mean,
He can kick rocks to me, man. This dude.
I know y'all don't like us saying positive things, but
hey, go back to that picture.
No, Wes.
You can be positive all you want. I'm just saying this dude ain't better than Jerry Jones. That's all I'm saying. He ain't better than Jerry.
Wes, I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm on your side, and I've even extrapolated this to several fights with Boss Cowboy about this very topic. That man, look, he did a good job, man. He did a really good job putting that team together, making it competitive, man, and do what he had to do.
Who better?
The last year overall, man.
No, I ain't talking about last year.
The last year.
Let's say the last 5 years.
What? The last 5 years,
team building
wise, I think he was better because of the fact that they won a Super Bowl like 5 years ago. Didn't they win a Super Bowl 5 years ago?
Man,
Okay,
I
well,
found
pretty
that,
close.
tweet for
So-
you, folks. I found a tweet for
So
you.
about
man. I
5
put it
years
in
ago,
your
yeah,
email.
he was better, man.
I mean, my thing is this. I'll say it like this. They have the most fluctuation. If you really look at it, the most fluctuation at the most important position in our division is Washington Commanders and the Eagles. Because the Eagles had Carson Wentz, but then they had Nick Foles take them to the Super Bowl. But then they had Jalen Hurts, and you know what I'm saying? So if you look at fluctuation, I think the Cowboys have probably had the most solid situation because Dak, for the most part, has always been here, except for these, little injuries in here and there. But the fact that you've gone to 2 Super Bowls, man, you were in the playoffs the year. They went to the playoffs last year, and then they went to the Super Bowl the next year. Like, I don't even mind saying that he's the best GM in football because GMs don't actually physically play football. But think about this. I'm gonna tell you this right here. The best GM in football can create a team that can get to the Super Bowl, but he can't create a team that can consistently beat the Dallas Cowboys.
That's the point. That is
So
the
think about
whole point right there. You just proved my whole point. Dak is 8-3 versus that sorry sucker. What you mean, West Coast? What is going on with you, man?
No, I'm just saying like this. No, I'm because
Stand on your square, Wes.
Man, hold
Stand
on,
on
man.
your
He gonna
square.
stand on the square. He don't need no help from you, OC. He don't need no help. West Coast, he know how to box on his own. I've been boxing with West for years. He don't need your help. Go ahead, OC. Go ahead, dog.
There's 2 ways you build a team, right? You can either build your team to win your division, or you can build your team to get a conference finals, right? Conference championship, right? But sometimes, I'm gonna keep it real. The Cowboys, we are building our team to beat our division.
Right.
The Eagles,
What you supposed to do? What you supposed to do?
The Eagles built their team to play really well against non-conference. You know what I'm saying? And that's where they really excelled. Like, think about this: the Giants took their ass to the wire, bruh. like even the Commanders took their ass to the wire. So it's like, I think the Cowboys, I think that the Eagles' biggest issue is they don't respect they don't respect us because they're like, as long as we split the Cowboys 1-1, we're good. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they're gonna, and honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. That's what the Eagles are gonna try to continue to do. Because think about this, they split with us this year. In one game, had us the 5th freaking seed.
Yeah, and on top of that, the only thing that I can look at this would be it's still too soon. I got to see what the Eagles are going to do this season. Although they are vacating a lot of guys, here's the difference between a lot of people getting up out of there getting like this.
Yep.
But if the Eagles
Yep.
pull around and find themselves back in the playoff next year, we're going to be eating a lot of words. So I look at it like this: from what Howie does versus what Jerry do. Howie, his feet gonna be put right back to the fire if the Eagles don't go back to the playoff nor see the Super Bowl, which I really believe that's what's going to happen, by the way. So when I look at Howie right now, there's no more comfortable bed for him. He's gonna have to redo what he just did last season. So that's the difference between Howie and Jerry. Jerry can literally say, well, oh shucks, we got next year. Howie, he got to be like, damn, I got to figure out ways to make sure I get back to the playoff. If not, I can lose my job, because he was on his way out until this year. Because I seen a lot of people had signs talking about, hey, Howie, we apologize, Howie. We love you, Howie.
They were running
really
him out.
care for you, Howie. But they was just dogging the man,
Yeah.
So hey, that's what pressure do. Pressure bust pipes. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
I'm gonna tell you what's more important. I mean, not more important, but more impressive is, bro. Listen, Howie also did that in the middle of them changing out their entire quarterback, their entire damn near half their weapons, and they went and got a whole new offensive coordinator. Listen to me. There was a point where everybody that he had on the team, Howie was the only Eagle. He was the only Eagle left. They got rid of the head coach, offensive coordinator, and then think about this. They then turned around and did it again because they lost their offensive
I'm just
coordinator.
happy to see Wes. I'm just happy to see that the defense is melting like ice cream in the summer. I just love it. See, and we would have stuck it to him if we would have got Slate.
That would have been a cherry. But we build like what my guy Will McClay can do, you know, and that's why when you say who builds a better team, you would have to ultimately lean on the Cowboys because collectively, we are built to maintain, whereas they build their team to risk it all.
Spikes.
And
they have spikes. We consistent.
Cardiacs.
What did you want on that DeAndre Hopkins?
I'm gonna tell y'all this right now. Then I'm gonna have to be firmly against you. Give me a spike in 2023, and I will worry about 2024 when it comes. Jesus is gonna come back. We might not even see 2024. Y'all tripping.
That's what I want. Hey, that's what I want.
No, I ain't tripping. I don't want no spike. You keep I don't want no spike. I want us to do it just how we doing it. Where we contending every year, and the only thing we needed to change is Kelly Moore.
Lord, don't listen
I
to
will
them.
take 2 bad
Don't
years.
listen to next year. And don't listen
Give
to
me a
the
Super
OC.
Bowl.
Don't listen to them. Jesus.
Give me a Super Bowl. Give me a Super Bowl. I will take 2 bad years. I'll deal with it. I will deal with it. Give me a Super Bowl, and you know what? If you need to rebuild, I'll be patient because you won a Super Bowl. But don't tell me we gonna contend for the next 20 years.
Philly won a Super Bowl. I'm so sick of you giving them stuff they ain't earned, dog. You keep giving them Super Bowls, OC. Why do you keep giving Philly Super Bowls? They didn't win the Super Bowl. They lost. So why
they won one? They won one. They won one, boss. 6 years ago. They won a Super Bowl. Did they not?
I'll take it. Give me that one. Listen to me. I am a man who is very easy to please. Give me a Super Bowl.
Wait a minute now.
We should have had a Super Bowl this year and last year if we would have got rid of Kelly Moore. It wasn't the talent. It was Kelly Moore. I'm sick of it. Hey, hold on real quick. Let me go to this because I don't won that debate. I won that debate easily. Hey, what you got on this? What you got on this, Law? Because I won that debate. I'm done with that.
Did I read that correctly? Go ahead, Wes.
Go ahead, Wes. You want some more? Come on, Wes. Get some more.
My only question is this. Everybody close your eyes. Put your finger, your hand in the air. Listen to me. Now put your hand on your the other hand on your pocket. You got a Super Bowl ring on this finger, and you ain't got no money in the right pocket. Are you happy? Man, I'm happy. Bro, I will figure it out. You tell me, listen to me, if Jerry Jones is so good with the money, run it up and then figure it out the next year. That's real.
Wes. Hold on, Wes. Here's my final thoughts on this before we talk about Parsons. We were 12-5 last year. I think that all we needed to do is just tell Jerry, make 1 or 2 moves, man. 1 or 2. We don't need to do the whole Howie thing. We are built to swim on top of the water and under the water. You know what I'm saying? So we just asking Jerry to make 1 to 2 moves. And I might be greedy and say, can I get 1 more, Jerry? But just get 1 or 2, man.
Hey, Law, you want to know why they had to reinvent the wheel, though? See, I'm gonna tell you how good God is. Actually, I ain't gonna call Dak God, but I'm gonna just put his name in there. I'm gonna tell you how good Dak is. Dak is so good that you'll never be as bad as the Eagles were at their worst. Like, bro, at worst, Dak is gonna win you 10 games. At worst.
Yeah, at worst.
They don't have that assurance.
They don't have that.
The Eagles don't have that assurance.
Yeah.
They don't have that assurance with Jalen Hurts.
They don't. That's true.
Like, at worst, Dak is going to win 10 games.
10 games. 10 to 11 games.
I see.
That's
at he never
worst.
Had a losing season outside of the year that he got hurt, and you can't really count that one. So yeah, I agree. I agree with that. At worst, at minimum. Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right. This is likely gonna be our last topic unless y'all
this
go
boy
crazy.
said he don't want no spike. Oh my God,
I don't want no spike. Hell no, I don't want no spike. I mean what I said. Man, listen, we might have to do our own show on that and fight. We got to do our own show and fight on that, dog. I know you want the box right now. You want to go ahead and box? Okay, you get the first words because you want to box this out because I like exactly how we doing it, bro.
Boss, listen to me. We both have children.